Let's consider other advanced costing methods and start with target costing. In order to understand the target costing, you should first think of cost plus pricing. How cost plus pricing works. Say you produce headphones and you decide to get a certain profit from sales. So you know your costs, and by adding the profit margin, you get the price. But in this pricing method, you face some problems. Firstly, your price may not match the market price. So if your competitors sell the headphones at a lower price, you would lose your sales. Secondly, there is little incentive for the management to control the cost. The management doesn't have goal to keep the cost under a certain level, so it may just relax. Target costing, in contrary, implies that you start with setting your price at market level, that is a competitive level. Then you deduct your required profit level, and by this you arrive to your target cost. So in this example, market price is 30, profit 35%, which is $10.5. Then we arrive to the cost of 19.5. So if your current cost is 23, then your cost gap is 3.5. You deduct your required profit level, and by this you arrive to your target cost. So the difference between your current cost and target cost is called a cost gap. You then will take steps in order to close it. The ways the company may consider include to cut down on packaging material or unnecessary features, to consider cheaper material, to motivate employees, to increase sales level, and so on. Now let's move on. Let's talk about lifecycle costing. When you think of product cost, where do you usually take it from? Management usually looks at figures taken from an annual data. Systems usually use certain periods such as quarters, half years, and years, but figures from these sources might be misleading. Why? Consider the headphone production. As you know, prior to launch, there are stages like research and development, prototyping, testing, and so on. So on the following table, let me show you. You see the costs for each year. They are development stage, then a launching period, followed by a growth, then comes a maturity, and finally a declining stage. Each stage refers to the whole year for the ease of understanding. As you can understand, in real life the periods might be different. Now the question is what price to apply. The logical point is that it should cover total cost as well as bring certain profit. So here comes this difference between calculations based on particular period of product's life and life cycle costing. So look at the following calculations. On the left, you see figures that were taken from year 1 data. As you can understand, the year 1, which is in our case launch period, implies low level of production, high level of marketing costs, and high level of production costs. So in year 1, the sales are low and costs are very high. That's why you see total unit cost comes up to $28 per unit. In contrary, if you take figures summed up for all 4 years, you will come to unit cost of 18.5. Why? Because as you can see from the table, let me show it once again. You see sales volumes are much higher in consequent years, and the marketing and production costs are decreasing. So these two factors allow the company to have lower unit cost. So the production level increases, the costs are going down. So in summary, life cycle costing seems fairer, since it is like considering the whole picture, including into calculations the figures over product's whole lifespan.